Good afternoon. It's time for Midday Live. My name is Wendy Lai. The headlines for this afternoon: Dean of Studies and Research at the Local Government Institute, Erikodio Sai, says all 4 persons appointed by President Mahama are capable of delivery, but says the president must hit the ground running as there is no honeymoon time. Now on to the international front. In Venezuelan National Assembly approves a request by President Hugo Chavez to postpone his inauguration for a new term in office, which was scheduled for Thursday. You can always get interactive with me on Facebook and Twitter. It's News on TV3 or short code 1734. Details in a GV. We start with our stories now, and the Electoral Commission has denied claims that the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party in the December 2012 elections, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, won the elections. In its defense to a petition challenging the declaration of John Dramani Mahama as the winner of the December 2012 presidential elections, the EC maintained that the petition is without merit and accordingly prayed the Supreme Court to dismiss it. The Electoral Commission also denied any irregularities in electoral practice, as well as working deliberately to unlawfully assist President Mahama to win the presidential poll, and subsequently prayed the court to order the petitioners to give particulars of the polling stations in which the violations, irregularities and malpractices are alleged to have occurred. Touching on the allegation of allowing voters to vote without verification, the EC asked the court to order the petitioners to provide particulars of the polling stations in which voting without verification is alleged by them to have taken place. In a statement of defense filed on behalf of the EC denies the claims by the petitioners that it deliberately denied Nana Akufo-Addo victory, responding to the petitioners' claim of a deduction of 1,342,845 votes of the total valid votes cast, and the subsequent claim that those deductions were in favor of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The statement urged the Supreme Court to reject the proposed deductions on allegations that votes earned by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo were unlawfully reduced, while votes for President Mahama were illegally padded with the sole purpose of procuring victory for President Mahama. The statement replied by praying the court to order the petitioners to provide particulars of the polling stations in which the alleged reductions and padding took place. Now, away from that story, 15 persons are suspected to have been affected with cholera outbreak in Obuasi in the Ashanti region, and my colleague Ibrahim Abubakar joins me on the phone line to update us on that very issue. Good afternoon, Ibrahim.
Good afternoon, Wendy.
Now, is that true, as in the 15 persons that have been affected with cholera outbreak in Obuasi?
Well, the 15 people have been affected. Initially when we came here, the health officials told us it was cholera, and some of the residents told us it was cholera. But then, after a closed-door meeting, they came out to say they suspect between cholera and diarrhea. They cannot confirm whether it's cholera or diarrhea, but they suspect between these two. Now they are telling us, we've come to the community. They told us it's a community, that's Akapoiso, where the outbreak occurred. We came here to look for ourselves, and we realized that it is their source of water that has brought this situation. They drink from a stream, and then because the community has no toilet facility, most of them go there to defecate. So open defecation is very rife here, and the water they are drinking is very, very poor. And the sanitation situation, even in this community, is not well. The gutters have been choked with refuse dump. We spoke to some of the residents, and they told us this has been happening for quite a long, because their pipe-borne water has not been running through. They don't get water from the pipe. So that's their only source of drinking water. So, and then the health officials are telling us that for now they can't confirm to us whether it's cholera or diarrhea, but then they've taken some samples, and God willing, by tomorrow they will be able to confirm. But then one person has been confirmed, like I said earlier.
Okay, but since they are yet to determine whether it's cholera or diarrhea, what measures are they putting in place so that it doesn't spread? For now,
we spoke to like I said, the disease control officer and the municipal director. They said they will be holding sensitization to this. But then one thing we've observed is that the main cause is the source of drinking water. And we just came to the community, we spoke to them, we told them what's going on. They said they cannot stop.
But you have seen it. Have you drawn the attention of the health authorities with regards to their source of drinking water?
Yeah, we've drawn the attention. They even told us the main cause of the sickness. But then we came where we spoke to the municipal chief executive, and they say they are working on it. But then for now we cannot say much, because as at now we are even then people are just coming in to fetch water, because they are telling us that's their only source of drinking water.
Well, thank you very much, Ibrahim Abubakar. And he gave us that update from Obuasi in the Ashanti region, where 15 persons are suspected to have been affected by cholera, and the health authorities there are not certain as to whether it is cholera or diarrhea. We'll give you updated, or keep you updated on that particular story as the day goes by. We'll move on to other stories. And the president has designated various outgone substantive ministers, including regional ministers and caretaker positions of the various ministries and regions appointed as caretakers shall not take decisions involving a policy. We're doing our best to get Kofi Abochi, a lecturer of the Institute of Ghana Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, to tell us more on that very issue. But we bring your story on the president's appointment.
Prosper Douglas Kweku-Beni, who's been appointed as Chief of Staff at the Presidency. Who is he?
This person is an international civil servant, I would call him. He's had an international experience. When it comes to governance, he's one of the best, I must say, in this country. He's known a lot of things about Ghana, and he's one person who can bring to bear the required objectivity in our governance process, which is what we need at this time of our democratic dispensation. We need somebody who will bring that objectiveness, who will be that unbiased, who will be prepared to bring proper corporate governance principles to bear in terms of national administration. And I think he stands tall among all others.
A lot of names had been thrown around, and President Mahama just surprised everybody.
I don't think this should be a surprise. It is his administration, and Ghanaians would hold him accountable and responsible for any lapses. So it is up to him to come up with somebody who is very, very, very competent. And I believe in his own mind and through various consultations, he settled on this man as a very competent man to deliver the goods. Let us give him the chance.
Okay, let's go to Roger Kwesi and Samweni, Secretary to Cabinet. You know him personally?
You know, Roger has risen through the ranks. Anybody who knows Roger would say that this person is more than qualified.
Okay.
He served the president on a number of occasions. He's risen through the ranks from district coordinating director, regional coordinating director, to chief director at the vice president's office, and now serving the president at this level. I mean, you cannot get any other person than Roger.
Now, Dr. Atuguba, a very popular face. You worked with him.
I worked with him.
Yes, at the Constitutional Review Commission. Right. Tell us about him.
Atuguba is very intelligent, I must say. As a lawyer, I have known him to be a very intelligent lawyer. I know him to be one person who takes his work serious, and he can give the best of advice when it comes to legal matters and development issues. The chief of staff is like the chief director, sort of. I mean, the chief administrator. But this executive secretary person looks at the various legal issues, look at the policy implications, advises you on the quiet that look, President, this thing we cannot do. This document cannot go out. And those are the things he can do, and I believe he can do it better.
Right, now finally, Dr. Sule Garba, Senior Policy Coordinator in the Office of the President.
What he brings to bear is the policy coordination bit, because the appointment the President has made is asking ministers, chief executive, regional ministers to act in caretaker positions. What it means is that they are not supposed to take decisions on issues bordering on policy. Sule Garba is expected to bring to bear the appropriate coordinating mechanisms to ensure that lapses do not occur.
President Mahama seems to be taking some slack this morning about he directing the former ministers to stay on as caretakers. What's your point?
It's not a slack. When you look at Section 14(5) of the Transitional Acts, it makes provision for persons or people to be appointed to act in caretaker positions pending the appointment of ministers. The section did not specifically mention ministers, but they mentioned any other person. But in governance parlance, it will be disastrous for the presidency to go through the process of reappointing people other than those who were acting to act. You know, so if he asks them to act, I think it's in order. The only challenge there is the ability to coordinate policy initiatives and then the activities of these caretaker ministers, regional ministers, and chief executive from district, regional to national level. My simple advice is that there is no time to waste. There is no honeymoon period. Work must start now.
Next, we have What Do You Think? Today on What Do You Think, we're asking you, what do you expect the president to look out for when appointing members of his government? What do you think?
He should give his appointments to very good people, people who will listen, people who pay attention, people who will not ignore advices from the lowest and lowest of constituencies, because they are the people who put you there. And for you to show a goodwill to them in terms of development, in terms of education, in terms of public infrastructure, you must look for very good people who will at least be good listeners and very good administrators.
Those he's going to appoint, they should have the ability to perform. We have to pray hard for him so that God will guide him, so that he can choose the best one. To look out for people who are matured, people who have the country at heart. Not people who are selfish because of their families or because of what they are going to gain, but people who are patriotic, who are really going to do something for the ordinary Ghanaian to benefit.
It's how to see the quality and also, trust them.
Faithfulness. Ghanaians should regard him as the head of state and then give him the necessary accord.
Now to education, and excitement was written on their faces as pupils and teachers of Omajo MA Primary and GSS returned from vacation to meet a completely roofed classroom block. Their sixth structure had been without a roof for 2 years because the contractor abandoned the project at the lintel level. TV3's Nako Kwabla, who has been following this story since September 2012, reports.
A completely roofed building welcomed staff and pupils of Omanjo MA1 GHS from the Christmas holidays. Pupils and staff of Tema SOS, out of benevolence, promised them, and they did just that. The benefactors were equally excited to see the pupils studying in a conducive environment. But how did they get here? Here is a flashback.
The building roofed. I feel so excited because previously it was not easy for us at all, because we used to hold our umbrellas whilst learning, and it is not easy. There are more to do about the building. It needs to be plastered and painted so that it will look more attractive than other schools.
Well, without the plastering and painting Grace is requesting for, the roof alone is attracting new admissions. There is more work to be done on the building. But it is not clear whether the Gan West Municipal Assembly would continue with the project. For now, the most important to teachers and pupils is the roofing, and that has been provided.
This morning when I came to school, though I heard it before coming, when I saw it, I was overwhelmed. I said, wow, the school has even taken a different shape altogether. So we are very grateful, and we are feeling very, very proud that we are also enjoying this by your courtesy.
The days of the scorching sun, sweat and extreme heat are over. Learning is much fun now.
A real relief for pupils and teachers of that very school. But you're still watching Midday Live too. Some more stories. And the Deputy Majority Leader, former Deputy Majority Leader Rashid Palpo, has called on Kenyans to help maintain peace and stability for rapid economic growth. Speaking at a Deba in Accra, he asked the youth to be proactive.
The Gonja Youth Deba was organized to celebrate the victory of President John Dramani Mahama for winning the December general elections. The Deba was to encourage indigents from the 3 northern regions to work towards using education as a tool in reducing poverty, ignorance and conflict. The event was again intended to foster unity among the Gonja community. The occasion provided an opportunity for traditional authorities to interact with members of the community and outline their vision. The former Deputy Majority Leader of Parliament, Rashid Palpo, advised the gathering to remain united to consolidate the country's peace and stability.
Peace in the north is very crucial, and I know that the President's policy of uniting the people behind progress, making poverty our common enemy, is something that we are taking seriously. We'll ensure that the North is united. We'll ensure that SADA takes the lead. We'll ensure that under the presidency of John Mahama, we'll establish permanent peace in the North.
The chief of Kwebi in the northern region, Alhaji Jaula, charged the youth to confront the future with integrity.
This particular function is one of the ways by which we can get the various ethnic groups together and perhaps do something small, no matter how small it is, to begin to unite us at all times.
Ghana's Fourth Republic Parliament has since 1992 been presided over by 5 speakers. A key role is to ensure rules governing the House are respected, necessitating countless shouts of order in the House. And in this News Desk report, we go down memory lane to look at who shouts order the best.
And that I will faithfully and conscientiously discharge the duties of a member of Parliament.
One word that enforces proper conduct on the floor of Ghana's Parliament is order. 3 males and 1 female have presided over Parliament since 1992. Each of them, no doubt, played required roles, and proceedings would never be complete without order maintained. But which of these speakers used the order best? In January 1993, the late Daniel Francis Annan was elected Speaker of Parliament, a position he held till 2001. The late Peter Alajete took over from January 2001 to January 2005.
Honorable members, the question is that this House do now again. As many as are in favor say aye, against say no. Order. Order. I think the ayes have it.
It was then the turn of Ebenezer Bejina Sechi Hughes between January 2005 and January 2009.
Order. Order.
The only female speaker, Joyce Adeline Bamford Addo, presided over the 5th Parliament from January 2009 till it was dissolved on January 6, 2013. You've heard them. Enter Edward Doajaho, the new Speaker of the 6th Parliament of the 4th Republic, who has been Deputy Speaker in the 5th Parliament.
Order!
By now, you should have made your judgment.
Order! Order! Order!
Guys, you've already made your judgments and you'll be able to tell who gives the order best. We'll go